an optimistic portion of this, but we have seen more precipitation, and that's why we couldn't go back green here after that cycle of stops.
Well, that doesn't look very encouraging, but
This ought to be fun.
You're right.
17 cars in the field.
It seems to be breaking up and maybe not as heavy the closer
I'm starting
it gets.
8th,
The rain's not necessarily going
right
away.
mid-pack.
Some of the heavier
Probably not the
bands
best place to start,
as they make their way to Charlotte.
but what will be, will be.
All right. Well, I like this. I'm going to have fun. And I appreciate you two just jumping in and stirring it up. So the red flag is out for rain. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Justin Allgaier, Lee Zillish, Danny Jones,
You may can hear O'Reilly in the background.
and the Chart-Royal 3.
Start the engine. 25 laps here at Indy. At least it's not raining.
Trex, performance engineered for your life outdoors.
You don't get any extra caution. It's right.
Water just happened. One circle, more happens. Grab one bottle and get up to 6 drinks throughout your day.
Well, here we go.
Just more water.
It's time to take control of your health naturally. Meet the organic testosterone blend from Full Tea Company.
There goes the pace car.
You get an all-natural tea designed to help boost testosterone levels, prostate health, enhance Scan the QR code to order now and enjoy fast shipping straight to your door. Visit FullLeafTeaCompany.com and explore our complete line of wellness blends. Organic testosterone, natural strength in every cup.
Think we can go green the whole race? Ooh, that looks bad. Ooh, that looks bad too. got the wheel on the left going. So 1.5 laps before we got a yellow.
And just we see, no practice qualifying the other day. You guys for sure be there. Just explain to everybody that's watching. You know exactly what you're getting ready to do.
actually living here?
Yes, 4 months in the summer of 2020.
Like in an RV, a motorcoach, what was the setup?
It was a little RV. It's me and my grandma. My mom would travel here once a week to watch a race on Monday and Tuesday in the summer shootout.
For me,